Hey, what's up everybody? This is Randy. We're back here at Bike Worx continuing the work on this 1950 Panhead here. So what we're doing this week is we're going to finish up and move to the back end. We're going to mount the rear fender, mount the sissy bar, get all that stuff dialed in to where we can just move on to the engine next. What I like doing is using stuff that I've got laying around. I recycle a lot of stuff around here for two reasons. One, just to keep the cost down on the build. Even something as simple as I'm doing today costs $50, $60, $100 just for these new little mounts for the sissy bar. So what I've taken here is this is just a mount off of an engine bar off of a Sportster. What I do is drill it out to fit my bolt size, and then I hog out the head and cut down the head so it fits flush into here. So what I'm going to end up doing is cutting this down to the width of the sissy bar. We'll make two of them, weld those on. Our sissy bar is then going to bolt into this factory location, so it'll sit on the top there. I'll adjust my angle. We'll take this fender blank here. It's going to mount in the factory location down on the bottom side. Then we're going to mark out our top mount for where it meets the sissy bar. Get that stuff bolted on. Throw that used wheel back into it, and we'll see how it fits. So what I'm going to do next is take this over, use simple hand tools, using a grinder, cut off wheel. We'll shape out these, cut them to length, get them welded on, and get it mounted up. So here's our part and piece. I got it cut out, get it prepped up. There's how it fits. It fits really flush. Once this is on the bike, it's going to look really, really clean. Instead of having a big old bolt head stick out here that catches on stuff, it's going to be turned down. Granted, you can go and I'm sure buy these pieces from some manufacturer. You can get all these ordered in. I just kind of like having the ability to do it myself. Granted, I don't have a big mill like they have, but this works out just the same and it gives me the product that I like. So what I'm going to do here is, it's a little bit sketchy, but I clamp a grinder into a vise here just to hold it. I'll turn it on, put my bolt into a drill, that way I can evenly turn the head down. Once the head's turned down to my liking, I'll go ahead and drill out the other end of this shank, get it to fit in there nice and snug. We'll cut it off and get it welded up. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drill out the shank here just to fit the head. This is just a 1/2 inch drill bit. I'm going to drill it down to the depth of the head. That way once it's in there, it sets flush and gives us the reveal we want. All right, so here's the next thing we're gonna do. This is the sissy bar we're gonna use. Normally I like to build these from scratch, just kind of make my own deal. I know exactly what it is or what it isn't. But just the story of the motorcycle. This is a kid's motorcycle that this used to be his dad's. So we're gonna try to reuse some of the parts that his father had on the bike. So this was a sissy bar that his dad built back in the day. So we're just gonna revamp it a little bit, make it a little bit cleaner, but we'll end up chroming it and putting it on the bike when it's finished. So the next thing that we're going to do here is take these mounts that I just made, we're going to cope the end of the sissy bar so it fits a little bit flusher, get those welded on, and then we'll get it mounted on the bike so we can fit and finish the fender. All right, let's go ahead and get the fender set in here. Start getting it bolted up. Alright, so here it is, pretty well finished up. The fender is now mounted to the sissy bar is now mounted to the frame. So what we've done here is just use the bolts and the mounts that we made. We'll go back out and weld these out and clean it up later. So what I've done on the back side here is this sissy bar had an original fender strut mount onto it, welded on already. So the way they bolt on is through the fender. So to make this thing look slick and clean, what I've done is ground down the bolt heads to where they fit as flush as we can have. Drilled them out back here and done a couple of rosette welds to the back side of the head. I'll be able to cut those welds down and make this fender just look flush and seamless. And then I'll take it off from the bottom side. I'll weld the bolts in solid there. Here's our lower front mount. And then the only other mounts that we're going to do is right here off of this crossbar, which later I'm going to build tabs to come off the bar, mount the oil tank and the fender all in one. That way we don't have the old straps that these bikes used to have. So just really make it look clean and a little bit more seamless. But this is going to be its permanent location once I've got it all welded out, cleaned up. All right, so next week what we're going to do is we're going to get this new oil tank mounted up. The way it's going to fit in here is we're going to have to take the fender back off, get the oil tank in, but we're going to build the back tabs off of this bar to locate the rear part of the oil tank. So that's going to be what we're doing next week.